justice and peace and equality.
Game Changers Media Network, Voices of the Village podcast, Just Dogs ATL, Chef Dulac in the building. Man, all right, we were just talking about downtown development, you know, everything that happened. You know, and the biggest stigma, I think one of the challenges, because the local people knew what was going on here. Right. They knew what was going on, so they saw it progressing. But McDonough, Henry County still had that stereotype of, hey, don't come here, it's good old boy county, you know. So I think what kind of slows down business in the square, or slowed down business, was still that stigma from out of town. Because you got to have people that's passing through supporting the business. What do you think about that?
I don't know, and I have to give it from the perspective of I am an honorary McDonough native just because I've been here for a while. But I honestly didn't move to McDonough until 2012.
Okay.
So my experience with McDonough was at a different age and a different part of my life. So I was married. I had 2 kids. So McDonough was fine for me because it was so slow and calm and peaceful. Like I wasn't looking for foot traffic, if you would. Like I think I was looking to avoid foot traffic, which is the opposite. Once I became a business owner, that then I needed foot traffic. I needed people moving and walking. So I don't know that it slowed me down because I was still looking for not the good old boy, but just that hometown charming, like I want to say old school, but I mean I grew up with my grandmother, so I can say old school. It was nostalgic for me, so McDonough was okay. Like it was okay that it was just McDonough, you know. It is still growing. It's growing, you know, from being just McDonough.
It's definitely growing. Now, from a food aspect, well, you can throw down in that kitchen.
Listen,
come on now.
I'm gonna say it without any type of shame. One thing I know how to do is cook. Like I can cook better than probably most people. Like most people that like can cook. Because it is, and people are like, oh man, that's your passion. That's your passion. And I've gotten to the point I understand who I am and I identify that's not my passion. That's my skill. Like that is an innate skill.
Wow.
I know how to cook.
Okay.
There are times that I will cook because I can and, you know, I like to do it, but it's not my passion. It has never been my passion. People. I like conversation. I like the community that normally comes along with food. You know, you go out to eat, you sit down, you talk. Like that's what I like about food. The people. The food. So when people say I can cook, I want them to understand that this is not by profession. This is not by education. I mean, about all of those things, but not merited to. It's my skill. Like, I can just cook.
Man, I mean, used to have like I think a shrimp and grit dish.
Oh, it had shrimp. Still to this day, people are talking about shrimp and grits and egg rolls. It was like, man, the deep South rolls. Like, you gotta bring them back. I'm like, maybe I should go ahead and just bring them back, freeze them, and throw them in Publix.
I mean, you might be able to add it as an echelon dish to the Just Dogs. You know what I'm saying? Because I mean, boy, that thing
but
was
the people
hitting,
loved it, And and that was a dish that honestly came by complete accident.
Okay.
It was complete accident. Like, it was from my, just like, I say old, like I had made greens and I just didn't have enough to put in any other container. So I'm like, but it was too much to throw away. I'm like, what am I gonna do with leftover greens? And man, I just kept playing with them and I added, you know, black-eyed peas and chicken and cheese and I was like, wait a minute. I'm gonna make an egg roll with this. And this is before people were doing like deep South rolls and like now everybody had like a soul roll. This was before all of that. This was just off the tip of my dome.
Wow.
And I needed, and it's so crazy. And I was like, I've been wanting to tell a story, so I'm gonna use this moment right here to tell it.
Go ahead.
And because it's one of our people, Monterey.
So
Monterey down at Thompson's Market. This is when she was in Moy's Pharmacy. I was like, I ran across the street because the restaurant right there. So I ran across Keys Ferry to Moy's, and I'm like, Monterey, I need something to make a sauce for some egg rolls I just made. She was like, I mean, the only thing I can give you are some peaches. She was like, I can just give them to you because they're about gone. I was like, okay, cool. Took the peaches back, pureed them, boiled them and I made this peach chutney. I was like, okay, I'm just gonna give it away as a dish tonight and just see.
Right.
Gave one away. Lady was like, no, it's really good. I like it. Somebody else saw it at another table, tried to order it. I'm like,
right.
Well, I mean, I made a couple more. So that night, that literally sold every plate I made. And I told Monterey, I was like, listen, thank you for the peaches. The peaches saved it. It's like that peach sauce with collard greens.
Yes, sir.
Like you wouldn't think about it, but on an egg roll?
Okay.
Man.
Shout
out to Thompson Market.
Come on,
Monterey had to keep us in.
Keep you in the game,
yeah.
Right? And that was and how valuable, because I mean, we know when you're in a local community, partnerships and collaborations matter. How vital would that play into, molding, that particular product in your collaboration and your partnerships, with some of the local businesses?
That was, and I cannot speak to the business owners on the square now because I don't know all of them.
Right.
But the group of people that were on the square when I was there,
okay.
And I will say, I selfishly say that maybe they just did it for me.
Okay.
Man, I had some people that really had my back. Like it was, if I needed something,
right.
I felt like I could ask.
Right.
Now, I don't know what came along with the ask. Right. And I'm not saying that nothing or anything did.
Right.
But I at least felt like I could ask.
Correct.
And I think, man, that was, as a young guy, first time business owner, sometimes just kind of having that refuge of somebody to run to, whether it was a bouncing idea or asking a question or something as simple as, honestly, I need to make a sauce. And I didn't tell you I bought these peaches.
Wow.
She gave them to me. She gave me this.
Wow.
And I mean, and there were times then if, let's say I needed a quick head of lettuce, so then I'm not going to run to Food Depot. I'm going to go and get it from Monterey. Even if I have to pay $1 more than I paid in the grocery store.
Right.
She gave me peaches. Like, I kind of owe her this $3 for lettuce. It's like, that's the type of business camaraderie that you get, like when people work together, like. On the square, then it did, and I'm certain that it probably still plays that same role now because I think it's natural. It's a natural harmony when you just put like-minded people together.
Correct.
And business owners, honestly, there's some like-mindedness because we're entrepreneurs.
Right.
You put them together and you allow that organic flow, like. I think one hand will start washing the other. So I'm certain that's probably still what happens now. But that was my story,
definitely.
in the day.
Most definitely. Now, you are where you are now, Just Dolls ATL, from Chef Dulac,
Right.
the store,
Right.
on the square. You went through a transition where it's almost like, most people say you disappeared.
Yeah, they're not lying. They're not lying. I did.
What did it feel like during that time period? When you walking into your dream and you thinking, hey, this is gonna work, and then it's kind of like everything crashes and it doesn't work. How did that
listen, and I'm just gonna make it quick. I had to go to counseling to help myself through it.
Wow.
But I still have not, I don't think, identified like what the name is for the conglomerate of emotions that I experienced.
Okay.
Because it took a toll on my personal life.
Right.
It took a toll on my family.
Right.
It took a toll on my finances.
Wow.
But then my confidence. Because like I told you, I know the youngest business owner on the square.
Correct.
And when I say the youngest business owner that then probably had kids older than me.
Yes.
That's the age difference.
Okay.
It was an embarrassment. It was almost like a failure in front of your parents.
Right.
Because like these people, I felt like I owed them like the success. Like I needed to prove myself to them.
Correct.
And when it didn't happen, I'm like, this cannot be it.
Wow.
And when I tell you, literally without diving too deep into my personal life, when I say packed up everything, I kind of left everything in my life where it was.
Wow.
Everything.
Wow.
The only thing I continued to do consistently was father. That was it.
Wow.
Because I was like, I will lose everything but that. I continued to parent and to father, but friendships, relationships, job, I just quit. I let go, and I didn't know what to do.
Wow.
When I say was lost.
Yeah.
And so I was like, okay, I got to make money. So I got to go back to corporate America. I've always done really well in corporate America. I always had great positions in corporate America. I'll go back. Went back to corporate America, took a huge nosedive in salary. But listen, with it like 6 months, and I switched jobs, we're a different generation, millennials don't mind finding another job.
Yeah, they will
bounced
walk
around
out.
a couple jobs until I built myself back up.
Okay.
And got to a point where financially I could kind of put my life somewhat back together.
Right.
And people say I disappeared, I did.
Wow.
Facebook, I didn't want to, I literally just stopped posting, deleted the app.
Right.
Because I knew, you know how your social medias are set
Oh,
up.
yeah. Oh, yeah,
Facebook is my family. It's the people that knew me. It was McDonough people. I didn't want to be seen. I didn't want to be heard from.
Right.
Because I didn't know what to say.
Right.
And I had, friends that were there, kind of like helping me through that process.
Okay.
But you can't change embarrassment.
No.
I will say I was embarrassed.
Wow.
So I stayed in Stockbridge, just kind of licked my wounds, just hiding out until I kind of had enough.
Right.
And I was like, listen, I can't put it all back, but I can start, just kind of mending some things. And it took a while to get to a point of realization of what happened and understanding and talking about it. But man, disappear, he did do. He did that. That is exactly what he did.
Man, hey, it comes with the territory, man.
I wish I knew that then.
I
knew that.
Well, I think sometimes, it is more, you need that woosah. That woosah thing.
Yeah.
We're gonna get into that. Part 3, Game Changers Magazine, GCM Network, Voices of the Village podcast, Chef Dulac.
Listen.
Ease up, man. Y'all stay tuned.
Stay there.
And equality. Now the world they will see.